And we're back again for the third symphonic tone poem in the suite collectively called My Country by Smetana. Thank you again to Michaela for sending this CD. And the next one is a name. It's probably not said this way because there are multiple different accents on three of the letters, but it looks like Šárka, and my understanding, based on the booklet, is that this was a mythological, a legendary female warrior who fought in an uprising of women against men. And this supposedly, or like in terms of cultural memory, took place in, I think, the 8th century. So yes, I don't know the full story, but my understanding is this is a significant figure in this war between women and men that took place in Czech history. So let's give it a listen. This is Smetana from his My Country collection of individual symphonic tone poems. And this one, as I said, is probably pronounced differently, but with an English pronunciation it looks like Šárka. And this is once again performed by the Collegium 1704 and conducted by Václav Lux. Smoke. Surely there's smoke everywhere. So yes, the most dramatic and intense fireworks we've heard in the first three tone poems, I definitely get a sense of not only battle per se, and that is certainly in sections of this, but also leadership, also the importance, the gravity of this uprising and battle, also some humanity and emotion at different times, but certainly the overriding feeling is one of intensity and tension and conflict. So I do feel the battle basis of this particular movement, again, not originally, but eventually as performed as a suite. So yes, I feel like the character of, once again, I apologize, Šárka certainly does come across in some of the passages, and I can get a sense for the scale, the amount of people, the sides, fighting for what they think is right or for what they think should be in a normative sense for the future of this country that became the Bohemia and Czech Republic in Smetana's time, which, like, I'm trying to remember exactly the sequence of events. Obviously, like in the Soviet era, it was Czechoslovakia, and ultimately, the Velvet Revolution, which is, long after Smetana's time. But the point is, the historical landscape of Bohemia, the idea that the participants in this legendary war were fighting for, again, what they felt was important for the nation, for Smetana's country. I think that does come across in the import, the drama of this particular movement. So, yes, a very compelling and dramatic tone poem. I like the string work, I like the drums. I will say the woodwinds seem to be the central element of multiple sections of this one, so they really did stand out to me. But again, we've got drums, we've got string flourishes, we've got horns, which, when they're trumpeting, when they're blaring out, they really do give you a sense of that, like, military order and, advancing on a position or defending against an advance. So the brass in this one lent itself to that sense of, military conflict. So yes, very compelling. I'm absolutely enjoying this journey. 3 more to go, so I will see you for the next one in a moment. Peace.